Hey everybody, welcome back to another new video. So today is going to be a different type of video, and it's actually a very interesting video I've been waiting to do, because this is a video which I was planning on doing for, I think I would say maybe almost a year. I've thought about doing this video. Basically, this video is about doing one face of my old makeup and one face with my new makeup. And it's just so interesting because if you guys see here, I have so many old products here, and then this is literally what I just have to use right now. So like I have very little makeup that I use, and because so many of these products are very used, I will have to like take a little bit of each one just so that it is enough. So let's get into the video. I'm really looking forward to putting on my old makeup. Of course, I will be talking about some stories along the way, so it's just sit back and listen to what I have to say. The only thing I will not be using in this video is lashes, because I personally do not use lashes right now, and I definitely did not use lashes before because I had a very hard time using lashes. But we can start off by using the Technique color fix. We can start off by putting on some primer on my new side. This will be the new and this will be the old. So I didn't used to use primer back in the day because honestly I thought it was unnecessary, and I used to only buy dollar store products. I actually never bought primer because I thought it was completely unnecessary. I bought like literally the cheapest thing ever. You guys are gonna see how much cheap stuff. I ended up buying more stuff, of course, but I bought the cheapest thing I could just get my hands on, and I thought primer is probably the most important because at the time I used to watch James Charles, and James Charles actually thought primer was bad because apparently he had like a scandal with one primer, so he thought, oh, all primers are bad. So tip to you guys, do not take advice from James Charles. So now we put on primer. So what we want to do is we want to put on foundation. So I have a few different types I have this foundation, which is one I got from my ex-best friend's mom. There's very little left, but I think I can still use it. Then I have this one, which I used to use like a month ago, but I did actually buy this when I started doing makeup. So I'm gonna actually test this one out first because this was the one I probably started using. Literally the most disgusting, ew, like ew. I'm gonna put that on my face. Okay then. I was surprised that there's still foundation left in it. I think the last time I opened this was like a year ago. The reason I got it was from my ex-best friend's mom because apparently she didn't need it anymore. So she was like, you can take it, it's fine. I think it's gone at least 3 months since I last used. No, not even 3 months. I don't think I've ever used a beauty blender throughout the whole summer. So sadly, this has a lot of cracks on it. So it's kind of giving me a very cracky foundation. But I remember when my ex-best friend's mom gave me this, I was really impressed by it because I was like, oh my god, it looks so good on me. Beauty blenders, they take time. You know, I'm too lazy to go to like the bathroom and go wet my beauty blender just so that I can use it. It's much easier just using a brush. It takes so much, you know, those extra minutes, I don't really have them in the morning when it's like time to go to school. Cute, but we're gonna do my new favorite, which is the Soft Touch by Makeup Store. So we're gonna use that. I'm gonna use a beauty blender and see how that blends. I believe the price point for this foundation, I think if you were to buy something, I don't think they have the exact that. When it comes to the concealer, we have a few to choose from. I still have this Revolution concealer, which I used till today, but that's just in case if these ones do not give enough coverage. So we're gonna try this oldest one, which is the Technique Conceal and Blend. I'm gonna use one of this brush. I've never used it before. I'm gonna take a little bit of this excess concealer and start putting it under my eyes. I didn't know you could do this before, and now I do since I'm a makeup artist. And yeah, but I started with makeup because of my ex-best friend. She showed me that you can have perfect skin with it, and I got interested and I was like, oh, I want to try. And I just ended up trying it and I started liking it. So now we have concealed this side. So now we're going to use this side. Obviously this side is going to be more concealed because this is a more of a full coverage. But I started with makeup because I wanted to get better skin, and then it just escalated where I just wanted to try new things. I ended up buying these drugstore things because I want to get a good skin, and then I realized that, you know, I can always get better stuff, and then I started buying like actual products which were not just from dollar store, like from Maybelline and like other mascaras, which I'll show you later. And then I ended up buying Viva La Diva, which happened to be vegan for the most part. I've stuck a little bit with Viva La Diva. I only have the palette. I don't really use like anything else but that. So as of right now, they look very identical, surprisingly. This one looks a bit more cakey. This one looks, but it's mainly because of the applicator, because it's now falling apart. Here it looks very, you know, polished. Next, I would go on to powder, you know, under the eyes, but I don't usually do that because it's not really good for my face. So now we're gonna do the eyebrows. Eyebrows is something I used to not do before, because again, I only did those, you know, easy steps which my bestie used to do at the time, and it's also because I use the wrong products. Like these shades, which is like eyeshadow shades, they're not really the most optimal way to do your eyebrows. You can do it, but it's not the most optimal. So I use a little bit of eyeshadow, a black eyeshadow and brown eyeshadow, and then I start drawing them out. So now my eyebrows are gonna look a little different to what I have on this side. You're gonna see it soon. Actually, I've used this technique before because I never used this applicator. It came with this brush set, which was really bad. Let me explain to you. So the first time I went to the dollar store to buy some makeup, I was like, can you just buy me concealer, buy me some powder, you know, buy me what's necessary. Don't buy me anything else but that. And I was like, okay, buy me some concealer, buy me some contour, blush. And then is there anything else? Oh yeah, you need brushes as well. I ended up paying like $20 for everything. It's not that much. Usually nowadays you would buy that much, you would buy one product. But like realizing later on you're anyway going to get an upgrade, it was kind of unnecessary money to put on it. But I think it was a good start, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so the eyebrows look very full. Personally, these are not my favorite eyebrows. I don't really like these like fat eyebrows. You know, they can look good if you're trying to have like a macho vibe. Like if I were to go like a very, you know, full straight, I would wear these types of eyebrows, but because I want to have like thin and like flake eyebrows, I would not usually do the way I'm doing right now. So I'm using the Anastasia brow pomade in the color caramel. I usually don't sculpt my eyebrows because my eyebrows have become very dark. So the problem with this eyebrow is the fact that my line is not very smooth of this eyebrow, so I kind of have to put concealer over an eyebrow to like disguise it. And it's so annoying because I want to have an eyebrow which actually looks somewhat good, but it's hard when your eyebrow literally has like an extra hair when it doesn't need to. They don't even look alike, literally. I'm just gonna put on some brow gel from Anastasia. Okay, I guess this is okay. Okay. But yeah, again, this brow looks definitely more natural than this one. This one looks just drawn on, even though maybe it didn't look the best. Okay, so now that we've done our brows, which don't even look somewhat the same, we're gonna go into contour. There's a few options we got here. We got this contour little palette, which is like pretty much is finished. Otherwise, we can always use the brown shade from this powder palette, but we're gonna test this one first, just to see that it works. So this is the brush I used to use, but it's so bad. I don't even know if I wanna, oh my God, look, it's so bad. I can't even applicate it. It literally looks like it's brown or whatever, orange. You have to use several brushes to do one thing. So for example, now I can't be looking like this. I'm gonna have to use something else to chisel out. So I would use this brush, but this brush has like got some kind of glue on it. So it's not really working for me. Like it is working to a certain extent, but oh, I need to really brush just to get that look. Okay. It looks somewhat okay now. It looks very brown, very, you know, color, a lot of color. Let's see if I can do a nose contour as well. I used to not do this before, or I actually didn't even know that that existed until I started watching James Charles. I mean, not only, obviously these products are cheaper, but if you think about the amount of time I use just to blend out this damn shit is literally so annoying. Doesn't even work. Okay, we're gonna blend this shit out. So I'm gonna use the Viva La Diva palette, and I'm gonna use the brown shade, which I have here. This one obviously looks more, it doesn't look as orange. And I don't mind being like this extra tan, but literally it's it's a bit, maybe in the summertime I can wear it, but not right now, honey, no. So next is the blush, and I have this Cheek Technic brush. There's also a brush which comes with it, so I'm gonna actually, I've never used this brush. I believe the first time I used it was really bad. So what I would use instead would be like this one. Oh, that's a lot. Ooh. I remember the blush being really good, but I don't know why it's not that good as it was. As for my new blush, I just used the Viva La Diva palette. This kind of like, the thing I like about this blush is it really like enhances the contour, which is already placed. Switch up the nose, so I'm pretty much gonna just put a highlight there. A highlight stick, which I used to always use. It usually did the job good too. So because it broke, actually, as you can see here, I have to start using an applicator instead. So I'm using the same as I used. We're gonna put on highlight on top with a small brush, and then we're gonna use a bigger brush. I think it looks pretty good, honestly. I'm gonna use my new highlight, which is from Individu by Therese Lindgren. And we're pretty much just going to highlight the areas which we missed. Obviously, Therese Lindgren's is a bit more natural. This one is definitely beautiful too, but this one's more natural, kind of gold. I've started to like it a bit more. I just look really sweaty. So we're gonna take this color FX and we're gonna just pretty much use a fluffy brush. And we're just gonna use some type of yellow and white, and just put it all over our face. If I were to like say one thing which I regret is if I didn't buy these shitty products and just went onto the expensive. But then again, you can't really expect that from someone who's new. You kind of have to understand that. So we're gonna use this Wonder Powder on my left side. People at work even asked me, okay, well, there was this one girl who's like, oh, but you're brown. And I'm like, rude, okay. And now I'm able to blend, so I think it's important that you do that properly. Even if you have a bad applicator, you have to do as good as you can. We're done with the skin, I believe. Yes. I'm just gonna put a spritz. I didn't really use I haven't used a setting spray before, but I'm gonna use this Technic one. Because apparently it is Technic. I actually bought this. I didn't buy this, I actually got it from my friend, so. Oof, there we go. This smells much better, and if you use a Technic one close to your face, it's gonna actually start hurting. Now I can see from this side of the face, the skin is much more richer. This side definitely looks good, but not as rich, if you know what I'm saying. I do somewhat actually like the fact that the contour gave a lot of color when you blended it out. So that I'm a little jealous about. So we're gonna do some eyeshadow. I'm thinking we're gonna go with something like a brown look, very simple, and see if we can match that. I didn't used to do this back in the day, but we can try something new. Okay, so a few things I kind of want to talk about is the fact that a lot of people have not been showing interest in my stream. And that's fine, I can't force people to want to watch my stream or whatever. I think it's a bit rude, the fact that there's people who say that they support me, but then as soon as it comes to like just watching a little bit of my stream, oh, I forgot, oh my god. It's just like, it's so stupid. Okay, it looks a little bit okay, I guess. Yes, the only thing, I would use a cut crease, but since this concealer is very weak, I'm not going to risk doing that. So all I'm really going to do is I'm just going to put on a shimmer shade and just call it a day. But a lot of people have been unfollowing me, and that's fine. If people want to do that, they can do that. But it's kind of like people who I at least expected. And I just feel like as of lately, a lot of people have been very anti-me and whatever. And I think one of the reasons being is, firstly, I don't go out of my way to try to talk to people. If they are interested in me, then they can take that responsibility themselves. People have also been very angry when it comes to me talking about veganism. I feel like one of the most I probably have to make my own video on this, but a lot of people are so self-entitled. But just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to do it. I'm not doing anything more. So now we're going to take the James Charles palette and continue doing the other eye and see how that goes. Okay, so because the James Charles palette is so damn, you know, easily able to applicate, I'm gonna have to use concealer the area that I messed up. Okay, it's done now. Okay, it looks good. Okay, so like I'm a bit surprised because it took me like 6 minutes or whatever to do this side. This took at least 10 minutes, and it doesn't even look that good. What I'm actually gonna do, which is also a new trick of mine, is I'm gonna put more highlight. It's like a trick I use instead of using lip gloss, because lip gloss always have very crusty lips. The only thing we have left to do now is really mascara. I have 2 different kinds of mascaras. One seems to be expired because there's nothing literally coming out of it. So I'm gonna have to go with a Maybelline one. I think this was my favorite one for a time, but then I realized that it became really clumpy. Final thoughts. So personally, obviously the eyeshadow look is not entirely the same. Some good things with the old makeup was probably, surprisingly, the foundation was really good. I think the concealer was a bit weak for me, but it did do the job. When it comes to the contour, it was really strong, but if you had the right tools, you could adjust it so it looked really good, very tan. The highlight was definitely not as natural. It looked very, you know, fake, but the highlight does look good. Eyebrows, very thick, not really my style, but it did do the job too. As for blush, I used to love this blush before. I don't really know what happened. The blush was really boring. It just had a lot of color here and then no color here when I put the color literally everywhere. As for the eyeshadow, obviously complete crap. Don't buy it if you're just using it for eyeshadow. Highlight stick didn't really do much. I mean, it was okay. There was not a big payoff with the highlight stick, to be fair though. Powder, obviously the powder is what it is. The lipstick, it did okay. I don't really know what more to say. Mascara, obviously the most boring mascara ever. Obviously not all of the products which I've used here, which are the cheap ones, are vegan. Obviously Maybelline tests on animals, so don't buy any Maybelline products. I know a lot of these Technic products are vegan, but everything else was okay besides the eyeshadow. When you use the actual eyeshadow, it's really bad for eyeshadow. It's really unappealing, very hard to use. Whereas the other side, oh my god, like my skin looks flawless, definitely the same. Looks very natural. The color of my eyeshadow it was very easy to apply, very easy to form. Honestly, I'm just a bit upset over the fact that there's definitely been some fake people in my life who just unfollow me on Instagram, or people who just don't agree with me and agree with like animal abuse. But hopefully in a new video, I will be addressing these issues with fake people unfollowing me on Instagram and people who just literally have stopped talking to me completely, and what's happening to my streams and stuff like that, because a lot of people might be wondering what happened to most people and how I see through everything. But that's for another video. So if you did like this makeup tutorial, then make sure to slap that damn like, because this took me 1 hour to make. And with that being said, my name is Mamzel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.